Okay, join us for making chicken enchiladas. We're gonna start with our saucepan. We're gonna turn it on to just over medium heat, and we're gonna put in 1.5 tablespoons of butter. I wear gloves because then I'm not afraid to touch anything. Chicken has been prepared, and I'll explain that later. So we're gonna work on chopping some onion. I like mine finely chopped. It adds flavor to your Mexican dish. Some people like onion, some don't. That's why I dice it really small, because then you can't find it and you usually just get the flavor of it. So we're gonna start melting our butter. And while we're waiting for that, you're gonna need 1 can of Los Palomas green chili. And no other brand will taste as good. And I get mild. Hot will make some people fussy.
Medium's best.
And 2 cans of cream of chicken, condensed milk. And then we're gonna need about 1 cup of sour cream. We're gonna need some corn tortillas and chicken. And I've already prepared the chicken. We boil it in water. You can just throw it in the water frozen, and you just put it on medium-high and let it cook it that way. It's the best tasting chicken. It doesn't taste microwaved. It doesn't taste like rotisserie chicken. It's how I was raised on it. So that's how you guys were raised on it, and that's how we're gonna raise our grandchildren on it. Dad uses canned chicken.
Only when I'm
not a fan.
Only when I'm camping. Where?
Okay, while we're waiting for the butter to melt, which you can see it starting to do, I went ahead and chopped my chicken. We should have about 2 cups of diced chicken. I like them in medium to small chunks like that. We have our diced onion. We're gonna put just about 1/2 cup in. We're gonna go ahead and put that in. We're gonna saute that for a little bit. Get my handy thing. We're gonna wait until they're just tender and translucent. You're also gonna want some Monterey Jack cheese. It's everybody's favorite because it's more of that Mexican flavor that makes your enchilada nice, yummy, and stringy. You're also gonna want a casserole dish. This makes enough for a family of 6 with leftovers for sure, but it will feed like 10. And you're gonna get about this size. I'm using aluminum so that we can toss it when we're done. I'm gonna try and do everything over here. So I'm gonna pull back a little bit so you can see our space, how we're gonna work. We're gonna refrigerate the rest of our onion because we can use it for cooking for other things. This is going swimmingly. We want it to get just translucent and tender so that nobody gets too many chunks in their thing. And we're gonna set this aside. I'm gonna look for something a little bit smaller. What do you need, Nate? What do you need? This will work. We need to get our sauces out. We're gonna turn this down to 3.5 on my heat, so low, but not super, super low. Give this a quick stir. You can see it gets done really quickly. We want it to kind of look like that. And then we're gonna do 1 can. Get that in there. I'm OCD about scraping my cans. Okay. I'm gonna continue to add all these ingredients. Okay, so we have all the cans added. We're gonna start with a slow whisk so that we don't pop it everywhere. I'm gonna incorporate these ingredients. This is the butter, the onion, 2 cans of cream of chicken, 1 can of Los Palomas green sauce. We're gonna get all that going. We can turn up our heat again to 5, so right in the medium range. And next, we're gonna go in with some sour cream, any type of sour cream. And this is fresh stuff. So I got a lot of helpers in my kitchen. We're gonna not measure this, but I know it's about a cup, right? So we're gonna get good dollop sour cream. We're just gonna put that in there and let that melt up in there. I love you boys. And then we're gonna check to see how thick it is. So let's get this incorporated and then I'll show you a trick. I'm gonna bring you guys in for a closer look. You can see it's lightened up in color, but it's also very thick. And I don't like mine to be dry. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of milk to this to thin it out just a bit. Let me show you. Okay, so we're gonna go in here now. I have never measured how much milk I put in, so I'll try and measure it for you. We're gonna put in half a cup to start with. We're gonna give it a whisk and incorporate it. And then I'll check the consistency. A little bit of a mess there. Can you get me a paper towel? Like messes. Okay, still incorporating it. We want to kind of bring this to a little bit of a boil. We want it hot all the way through. You can see I've thinned it out. Let me show you. We've thinned it out a little bit, and I think that's just about perfect. I do not add my chicken to the sauce. I do that as I'm layering like a lasagna. And this is the Monterey Jack cheese that we're gonna use. We're also gonna be layering with cheese in here. So we're gonna switch things out a little bit, get this warm all the way through, clean up my mess, and then we will put together our enchiladas. Okay, let's build this chicken enchiladas. We made it. So I have everything kind of set out. So in order, I pull out my pack of chicken or my tortillas, I have my chicken, I have my cheese, and I have my sauce, and I have my pan. So that's how we're gonna put this together. So we switched out for a ladle. So we're gonna come in and put this in the bottom of our pan. We're gonna take, I could probably have put in another half a cup of milk and thin it out even more, but we're not feeding an army today, just half an army. So we have that spread out in our pan. Now, I think the trick to my family's enchiladas to help us not get dry tortillas in there, because who wants a dry tortillas? We take it, we put it in, we flip, we lay it. Got it? So we take it, we put it in, we flip, we put it on top. So we're gonna keep doing this, and then we'll move to the next step. Here. So this, on this size pan, you're gonna get 6 tortillas, okay? So we'll probably get 2 to 3 layers in here, and I might add a little more milk to give me a little more sauce, because we like ours really saucy. Okay, so we get that spread over the top. We're gonna come in and we're gonna hit this with cheese. We are not stingy on the cheese. So this isn't measured, but this whole pack is 1 pound. So we're gonna coat that. And we're gonna add a little more for posterity's sake. Then we're gonna come in with a handful of the diced chicken, and we're gonna layer this just like this. Perfect. So this is what the first layer looks like, okay? So now we're gonna come back in with the tortillas again. Get set with that. So we're gonna do it again just like I showed you, the flip, flip. The flip, flip. And again, we get about 6 of them. My onions are getting into this, all mixed into the sauce. It's perfect. We're gonna get about 6 of these bad boys. Wow, sounds like the dogs are home. Okay, hold on, we're gonna go ahead and do the last layer together. Okay, so we're ready for our final layer. We have just enough to get this 1 layer in, and I didn't need to add anything else. Just like lasagna, you do those 3 steps. We're going flip, flip, Putting it on, flip, flip, putting it on. Just fast and easy. Just like this. And then, nice. And then we're gonna take this. You can see that we have it all on the top. Right there. Can you see that? So we're gonna take this and pour it over the top. Just like that. These secrets are for everybody. All right, and we're gonna push it in like this. Now, I wish I had thinned it a little bit, but this is still gonna work perfectly. We're just gonna kind of push it in a little bit like this. And it's gonna be great. We're gonna give it a little shushing like that. And then we're gonna go in and we're gonna finish. So it was about exactly 1 pound of Monterey Jack cheese. And we're gonna put this over the top. Then we're gonna put this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45, 50 minutes until your sides are bubbling. And that, my family, is how we make the Haymore chicken enchiladas that I grew up with.